Happy anniversary, Apostle Islands. It's my pleasure to join in this research symposium. So it's a big deal, 50 years. So hats off to you, at least belatedly so. I'm Steve Ballou. I'm an aquatics and invasive educator at Apostle Islands National Lakeshore. You may have heard of me. I'm a speaker of some repute. I've been known to keep audiences frozen in place with my stirring oratory, even if they're sitting in sand. My travels throughout the park with students led to the creation of this program and the efforts that you're going to learn about. Through the Eyes of Fourth Graders is a book written and illustrated by fourth graders. It grew from the exercises that teachers did with students after our field trips and fell right into my philosophy of what students should be doing in the outdoors. In the words of Richard Liu, passion is being extracted from the earth by the sandy hands of youth. This passion and these experiences has led to another chapter in this storied landscape. Students were asked to draw their most important thing that they did when we were outdoors together. The student drew the seasons and put the Ojibwe terms for each season in it. In his story, he commented that seasons help things grow. Things bloom, grow, and then it is cold. This image of a child looking at a flower stirs my earliest memories of my awareness to the natural world. I ask you, what is your earliest memory of the natural world? What senses did you employ? This image, I think, is pure sensory wonder, and that is the goal. In the late 60s and early 70s, there was a movement to rejuvenate environmental awareness. Conferences held in Stockholm established objectives. Awareness was one of the most important of those objectives. Awareness to help social groups and individuals acquire awareness and sensitivity to address and deal and participate with the proper attitudes and skills to engage in the important things in the environment and develop environmental literacy with the ultimate goal to produce people and citizens who can make responsible, informed environmental decisions. So environmental literacy is the ultimate goal. To this end, we all have a role. I ask you, educators, researchers, and officials, to extend your hand to your young self. What do you wish someone had shared with you? What would your old self share with your younger self? Maintain curiosity. So I urge you to go hand in hand with your younger self and reach out to today's youth. Studies indicate that no matter what the message or how it's packaged or how it is prepared, the presenter is essential. In that list of essential qualities is passion. Passion for life, passion for the subject, and passion to share. Also, you need to be a real person and have fun. Maya Angelou said, I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Whether it is hugging a tree or recreating a lava flow with a blanket, get students to feel and maintain their curiosity. Again, recent studies indicate that curiosity is best kindled and maintained through free exploration, relevance, consistent messaging, and by the use of play-based learning tools and games. We need to provide multiple pathways for learning and access. So take the outdoors into the classroom. You need to start at an early age to engage youth. And you need to get these students outdoors as soon as you can. Allow time for kids to be kids and to be creative. This is a map of Stockton Island that they made from sticks on the beach. It is my goal here today, and I hope everyone in the room and all the audience, to take up a stand against environmental complacency. Inherent wonder that all children possess is drawn to nature, and it is our role to facilitate and develop that inherent wonder. In the words of Richard Liu, we have such a brief opportunity to pass on to our children our love for this earth and to tell our stories. These are the moments when the world is made whole. Memories, shared adventures will always exist. Studies also indicate that middle childhood is the critical time to share these adventures with youth. Grades 3, 4, and 5 are the target and most productive times to engage students in the outdoors. This is before they become jaded and lost to the world. So I've had experiences with those target grades in the area and on our islands. And this is that story and the product and book that they produced. This image of water and sky and islands was produced by a student that wrote on the back of the picture, "I suck at drawing." This is one of my favorite images. His topic was Nibi, Ojibwe for water. He went on to write, "Water is life. It is the color of the sky. Nibi is life." This image of a bee in flight over green hills and flowers and trees with the sun overhead is a moog, Ojibwe for bee. The student wrote, "A moog are pollinators. They are black and yellow. They are small and fly. They like pollen." Some students just commented on water. They said, "In water, we can see ourselves. And we can see through it." Butterflies. This image of a butterfly, the student commented, "They have translucent wings. They pollinate and get nectar with their long tongues. And the most important thing and best thing about them is they are kind and beautiful." Essiban, the raccoon. They're fluffy and smooth. They make a sound like a crying baby or a seagull. And the most important thing is they are fluffy and smooth. Mikwam is Ojibwe for ice. The student said that ice tastes weird. It made Lake Superior. It is how animals get to the islands. That is an amazing image that this student drew. It captures all those things. This image of an oversized fire surrounded by trees is Ishkade, Ojibwe for fire. On one day at Little Sand Bay, it was very cold and we had a fire. So the student said, "Fire is important. It warms you. I think it is a cousin to lava." Mitagug, Trees, they're the reason we are alive. Trees help everyone. They give us oxygen by photosynthesis, and trees are protected here on the islands. We had a chance to find animal tracks, even bear tracks. And every time we found tracks, we would follow them to see what happened. This image is just amazing. It has a little bit of everything: trees, flowers, plants, people, tracks, nests, animals in the air, fish in water that blink and flow from the sun. And I think that's a guy with a kayak paddle up on top of the water. This student was a student that didn't participate very much in many of our activities. Through our interactions, he eventually did. So he went on to write, I love looking at tracks. Bimeka Wenan, Ojibwe for animal tracks. They're fun to follow. They tell a story. I want to share the story that I had with this student. We were snowshoeing. We were kind of alone, away from the others. And he said to me, Ranger Steve, how much dope do you smoke? And I said, well, it's not really my thing. So I don't. And that was all he wanted. A teacher was rushing over to intercept her. And I just held up my hand and said, it's okay. After that day, he was my buddy. And this is the drawing he produced. It was amazing. He asked, do these animals have cubs? Can you follow the tracks and find out? Does it fly or does it stay on the ground? And who does it eat? This image of sand dunes and sky and clouds and sun, it's just amazing. The Ojibwe word, again, I will struggle with this, Babikawadawanga, means sand dunes. The student wrote, they are sand and free. The student went on to write, they are yellow, a warm and exciting color. They are bumpy and uneven, smooth in some parts, shiny like a bright summer sky, and golden like the nice warm sun. But the most important thing about sand dunes is that they are sand and free. This image, sun, water, beach, wind, seagrass, was from Little Sand Bay. There, I interacted with students in the forest and took them for a walk. The student said, we listened to the voice of the forest and sat in the sand counting waves. This image of water and beach and trees and boardwalk is Stockton Island. Student said, Stockton Island has many names. One Ojibwe name means Burnt Wood Island. Another means almost an island. It is a great place with numerous animals, plants, and an extensive beach that is large and lengthy. It has singing sands. And the most important thing was, it is an Apostle Island. This image of trees and a river with maybe kayaks or canoes in it. The topic is Mittagug, trees. The important thing about trees is that they give us oxygen and maple syrup and homes. But the student went on to write that the absolute most important thing is that they are tall. Best of all, they are tall. In all these outings, I urge students to be present, to stay in the moment, to listen to the forest. And I asked them, will the forest remember us? How will we be remembered? I also ask myself all these questions. I need to be present. I need to stay in the moment. I need to listen to the students. How will they remember me? And I want to be remembered as somebody that cared about them and the environment. So we got to go snowshoeing many times. As you can see in this picture of students sprawled out, some people said, "This is the hardest thing I've ever done in my whole life." There was whining aplenty. But when we got back on the bus, usually the thing that people said was, "Can we do this again?" This drawing of water and sky and sun is Nibi, Ojibwe for water. Students said, Nibi allows people to be alive. Various excerpts from students said that trees provide homes. Trees give us color. They are green even in the cold. Students have many thoughts and topics that they shared after and feelings after our expeditions into the wild. One, I want to have every day learning outside on the island. And it sounded like a mandate. Teachers said they love to be outside, immersed in what we are learning. This image is of the cruise boat leaving Stockton Island. Thanks to GLRI funding, we had, after a teacher workshop, we were able to take students out to the island. Look at the detail in this image. The boat, the restrooms, the symbol on the restrooms, the wheel is just incredible. The student wrote, Stockton Island. It was many things, but the best thing is I got to go there. So the eye of the island is upon us all and saw us at the island and with the students in nature. The island invites us back. The island and its lessons call out to students and call to us to provide those opportunities. What image would you create and what story would you tell of your experiences in nature as an adult and as your younger self? Thank you for joining me on this journey. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank the Apostle Islands National Lakeshore for providing me with the opportunity to do this wonderful job in this wonderful place. I'd also like to extend a great thank you to the Friends of the Apostle Islands National Lakeshore for supporting this initiative and many other of our programs. Also, Great Lakes Restoration Initiative provided funding to take the students to the islands and many other of the activities we do. Thank you, Northland, and thank all of you for the support that you extend in this mission to share and protect this amazing place. At this opportunity, I'd love to entertain questions.